Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what is going on in this crazy world, in this energy that we are all experiencing, what you need to know about it, probably the things that you're feeling, how you can make sense of it, and how you can make the most of it so that you can navigate your week in the best way possible. And it is a lot. It is a doozy. It is, we're navigating so much. So let me know. Say hello if you guys are watching. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know what's going on for you. It's a lot. And I personally, I made a video where I talked about the end of the year and how we were wrapping up the end of the year. So if you didn't check that out, make sure you catch that because I don't want to repeat myself too much, although I am going to cover some of those things, but make sure you go back and watch that. I also recommend watching last week and maybe even the week before because there's a lot of carryover with this energy. And I called this video, We Have a Lot to Talk About. And it's because number one, we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot that's going on in the energy. But also, number two, I heard that like when I was connecting with the energy, that was what I heard. And so I think that there are a lot of important conversations that are going to be happening this week or over the course of the next few weeks. I think there's going to be an awareness about things that need to be communicated about. There's a lot that is happening. So let me know how that's impacting you, or if you're feeling some of these things, if some of these things that I'm sharing them, if they're resonating for you. Number one, I talked about this in the end of the year energy reading. And I am noticing how much I feel just so easily overstimulated. I feel very oversensitive, both emotionally, but also just in a very skin crawly kind of way. Like I'm noticing I'm having these moments where I just feel like if I could, I would crawl out of my skin. Are you guys feeling that? Stacey's saying that she's feeling very emotional and confused. Yeah, it's emotional and confused, those are good words to describe this energy for sure. So stick with me. I'm going to help you to figure this out. Pat's also saying she's been feeling very emotional. Yeah, there's a lot of emotion, a lot that's being brought to the surface. Remember, this week we shift into Sagittarius season, but we are still in Scorpio season. Scorpio is a water sign. We have that new moon coming up in Scorpio this week. And whenever the moon is in Scorpio, or any water sign, like that can bring up a lot of emotion. But then you add to that, we have 5 planets that are in retrograde. Mercury is in retrograde. Mercury is included in that. It might be 6 planets. 5 planets, 6 planets, like who's counting at this point, right? There's a lot. Uranus is in retrograde, Jupiter is in retrograde, like everything. But there's a lot that is going on, and we're being asked to slow down. Whenever we have retrogrades, there's a slowdown that comes with that. But also Scorpio season, which we have been in, is a slowdown. It is shadow work. It is reflection. It is asking for ourselves to reflect. So you add that, you combine that with the fact that we have been getting hit with these solar flares that are crazy. And what I want you guys to understand energetically is when we're getting major solar flares and when the Schumann resonance, which is also, that's like, it's basically like the Earth's heartbeat is the simplest way I can describe it. It's the vibration of the earth. And when that is kind of going crazy, especially around the time that we've got all of these solar flares and electromagnetic storms and all of that stuff, like when all of that's happening, it's a lot on our systems and it's very purposeful. It's meant to program our DNA. It's meant to program our energy fields, our bodies, the earth to vibrate at a higher frequency, which is a very good thing because that means there's more light. And when there's more light, we ultimately are going to feel more light. But at the same time, right now, with these retrogrades and this slowdown and us getting hit with all of this, you may just feel like you are trying to like navigate through all of these energetic bombs that are just being thrown at us left and right. So there's a bigger purpose here. There's a bigger picture here. And I want you to focus on that and remember that. Hi, Jess. So there's a lot that is happening. And so we're feeling that sense of, oh my God, like I'm processing so much. So you're processing a lot physically, you're processing a lot emotionally, you're processing a lot mentally, because these retrogrades call for us to go within. They call for us to reflect on things and to review things. And that's the whole point of all of this, is for us to really take a look at what's showing up for us so that we can do something about it, understand it in a better way, or something like there's something that is meant to come from it, or to heal it. Healing is something that's important too. And Barbara's saying it's been crazy lately. Yeah, it's understatement for sure. And so I said that we have a lot to talk about because there's so much that is happening. And I feel like now, like I had all of these downloads about next year, about 2026 and what that's looking like. So I want to explain that because I think maybe it helps us to understand. So first, I want to talk about 2025. And the word that I got, that I was given for us for this year, was the year of wonder, right? So that there was going to be, I said this entire year was going to, I said this in my membership, that it was going to look like an eclipse season, meaning that there's going to be a lot of moving parts. There's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be a lot of shifting. There's going to be a lot of shedding and releasing. There's going to be a lot of destined experiences that are meant to lead us to our higher path. And certainly, I think we can all agree that we've had that this year, and the year is not over, and we are doing that work right now as well. So we've had all of that happening. And I said it was the year of wonder because we have a choice, and we still have a choice to look at everything that is developing and happening from a place of wonder. I wonder how this is benefiting me. Or what a wonderful world. What a time to be alive. That is something that my guides and my angels have told me that I need to just kind of be in that mindset of as often as I possibly can. What a time to be alive. Because the things that are happening right now are impacting us in our personal lives and as individuals, right? But this is so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than you. It is an us. It is a collective. It is a massive shift that we are going through and we are experiencing and moving into. And it's so powerful. So I want you to keep that in mind. So a year of wonder. So leaning into the wonder, even though we don't know where the fuck things are going, right? It's a lot. And right now, in these retrogrades and in this energy, we are being encouraged to flow and to surrender and to let it go where it needs to be. Stacey's saying, I haven't been able to get any sleep because my brain is in constant worry. And we're going to talk about that because right now, what needs to happen is we need to come back to our toolbox. Pull out the tools from your toolbox, whatever those look like. So I want you to think back. When I have been through very challenging times in my life before, what tools did I use? What works for me? What serves me? Like for me, walking is a huge one. Walking, hiking, just getting my feet out on the earth, moving my body really, really helps me to clear energy. I never come back from a walk feeling as bad as when I went on a walk. So I know that is a go-to for me. Or any kind of movement. Also, I'm going hard on the breath work right now because I know that breath work works so well for me with my mind that wants to overthink. It's a really good tool to use if you're somebody who has a hard time with meditation, or you're having a hard time meditating right now because you're overthinking, you're staying up worrying and things like that. It forces you to get out of your head and get into your body. So it's something that I recommend. Reach out to me. I'm happy to send you some YouTube resources that are totally free that can lead you through it. I'll send you what I like to use. So let me know. So shout out to Breathing with Sandy, by the way, speaking of that, because his channel in particular, I really love, and I really like to use his tools. So look that up if you're not, but I'm doing breath work in the morning. I'm doing it at the night right now. And I don't usually do it twice a day. And I'm doing meditations on top of that. I'm finding that I'm so overstimulated, and see, I'm all over the place. So I hope you guys are following, but my energy is just pulled everywhere and there's so much to cover. So I feel very overstimulated, I feel very overly sensitive. I'm finding that just to be in public is tough. Like one of my sons is playing basketball, and as much as like I actually really am loving watching, I find it's very hard for me to be in public in that way, in a loud setting with lots of people. I just really feel like I need to be home and quiet as possible. Like our bodies are processing so much with the energy that is coming to earth. We are processing so much through these retrogrades and trying to make sense of it. We have a lot of things that are happening in your world. You have a lot of things that are happening for you, right? And it's probably things that you're worried about and things that you're stressing about. I want you to keep in mind that a lot of this stuff is just coming to the surface to give you an opportunity to deal with it or to heal it. So use the tools that you have in your toolbox. Let me know in the comments, actually, what tools do you like to use? Like, what is a go-to for you? Because maybe it will inspire other people. So those are some of mine. Going to the gym, like I said, movement is a huge one for me. But I also have really had to be on top of just like self-soothing. So maybe this sounds weird, but when I find myself getting in that really skin crawling space, I will like just hands on my heart or even hands on my arms. I'll kind of do this like to soothe, or hands on my legs, and just like reminding myself, I'm okay. You're okay. You know, in that connection to the body. I've been doing some somatic exercises to like clear and release things from the body. There's just a lot that we're carrying and processing. So anything that works. Jessica's saying listening to singing bowls. Singing bowls are incredible for raising your frequency, for clearing things out, using certain crystals. Choose your crystals intuitively. You don't have to know everything about crystals, but if you have some, ask yourself, what crystal do I feel called to carry with me today, or to have it sitting in my energy field? There are just, the list is endless. And so my point is, like, this is your time to come back to your toolbox. This is your time to like give so much attention to taking excellent care of yourself, because we are here working on wrapping up the end of the year. And I want you to remember, this is a 9-year in numerology. This is about endings. This is about closing. This is about releasing. So we're releasing some really, really big stuff. Maybe even patterns, stuff that you have been in for the past 9 years. You know, like it's the closing out of a cycle for the past 9 years. So what's been going on in your world from 2018? I think that's the 9 years, but yeah, so from that, you know, and look at those cycles, and like we're closing those out, and 2026 is a 1 year. And that's all about beginnings, right? And I feel very strongly in this energy that yes, it's leading to new beginnings, but I feel like there's a lot of second chance energy here. So it might be new beginnings, but it's like a new beginning around a second chance or a redo. So if you're feeling like you're feeling pulled to like take a second chance on something, or some things that you were focused on at one time or working on at one time, and then all of a sudden they're coming back up again saying, hey, focus on me right now. I want you to give your focus and your attention to it. Like there's really beautiful opportunities for a redo, a second chance, something like that. And you might already know what that is. You might have already had those happening. It might be multiple of those. So I think we're going into 2026, and it's new beginnings, but it's like new beginnings from a place of more wisdom. And it might be new beginnings where it's like, I learned from my mistakes before, and now I'm entering into this year with a knowledge, a better knowing. And so I'm going to approach it from that energy. And that's really powerful. So it's like bringing the lessons and everything that we've learned and everything that's been developed within us. And just knowing that. So when I was connecting with what does next year look like, I just had this come through as a download. The word that I got for 2026 is remembrance. Okay, so remembrance. And the remembrance is like remembering who we are and remembering the light that is within us. Like there's there's a deep connection to this light that is happening and developing over the course of 2026. It's going to be a very spiritually connected year. It's going to be a very connected to your intuitive gifts kind of year. And right now, well, let me say this. In 2026, I think that it's the year where we really see our priorities shift. And we're already doing that work right now. This is why I'm mentioning that. I think that we're in these reflections asking ourselves, like, do the things that once mattered to me really matter to me anymore? There's a real ego death that is happening right now for us. And we're really taking that look at our priorities and we're saying, like, what actually matters here? What's really important in life? What's really important to me? And you might find that through this process of asking ourselves these questions right now, you're changing your goals or you're adjusting. You might not even change your goals, but you might have a different reason to why you approach your goals. Let me give an example. Your goal might be to you might be having a goal to like eat more healthily or move your body more because you have had a goal of losing weight. And now all of a sudden you are going to shift into those same behaviors, eating better and exercise. But all of a sudden it comes from a place of love for the body. It comes from a place of getting the body to its highest possible vibration, getting yourself to like letting it be this like act of self-love or to take care of this beautiful temple that is the house to your soul. Do you see the difference there? Same goal, but we're coming in from a place of depth. So right now you might feel very confused. You might not know who you are. You might not know what you want. Let the retrogrades do their thing. They're here to show us what we want, who we are, what isn't working for us. They're here to call us out. There's a lot that we have to take a look at and say, no more. Like, I don't do that anymore, or I don't want to do that anymore, or that's not how I want to continue to live my life because this doesn't align with me. And Barbara's saying lately, nothing seems to matter. And I think that is in the energy a little bit. And I think that's because we're being stripped of what we thought mattered. And the next step of this, and I think we're connecting this to that this week, but certainly over the course of the end of the year, we're becoming aware of what actually does matter. And you might be surprised. I said in my post this morning, you're probably going to be surprised by who you are and what matters to you by a year from now. There's a lot that is shifting. And you might see these opportunities to come back to something, to circle back to something, or for a second chance or something. And you might realize, oh my gosh, like this is what matters. This is what is important to me. And so you might have these breakthrough moments, these aha moments. I wrote down too that if you're feeling defeated right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And I know that that's really frustrating because like, how can that be true? But again, it's like there's this ego death that is happening for us right now. We're being called to just like take down our armor, to really listen, to let ourselves surrender and be guided. And like part of that defeat comes in when it's time for us to surrender, when it's time for us to hand it up. And I think the defeat that people are feeling right now is, how do I explain this? It's us standing strong in our light, even though there are dark, heavy energies that would love to pull us back into our ego, that would love to pull us back into those habits that keep us small, that keep us stuck, that keep us from connecting with other people on a deep level, that prevent us from really achieving the things that we want to be achieving. I think that we're working on releasing those things. And so to be in this energy and to feel defeated means that you are fighting against something that would love to make you less than you actually are. Because 2026 is about connecting with the God spark within us. It's so expansive. And this is the beginning of the expansion. Like, I feel like I could cry because I feel how beautiful that energy is and I know where we are going to be. So I want you to trust this. Again, this is so much bigger than all of us on an individual level, but it is going to be really beautiful for us on an individual level. We have a lot of work to do. I was saying in my video a couple weeks ago, like the next few years are big and there's a lot of work involved in that. So I'm not going to pretend like it's all sunshine and rainbows and everything's going to be great, but it's a really beautiful journey that we are heading into. And so I want you to think about like this bigger picture here. And I think part of what's happening and developing is like we're being shown things, people that we need to reach out to, communication that we need to have, ways that we need to express ourselves. And by the way, like you might find like you may have tried to express yourself. And I'm hearing from some people, and I've had this experience myself, where you're trying to express yourself or you're trying to have a conversation and the other person isn't willing to have that with you. And so like, what do you do then? You have that conversation anyway. You let yourself reflect on it in your mind and maybe even write that down. There's a thing in the therapy world called the unsent letter. You write down the things that you want to say and you don't send that letter, but you've cleared that energy. There's a lot of there's a lot of therapy talk today, right? That's because like we're here to be our own therapist right now, or certainly reach out to a therapist. I have some openings right now as well, like do some work with people that you trust to lead you through this process, especially if you're feeling really stuck. But also be your own therapist and keep asking yourself, what do I need? What am I feeling called to do? What is this about, right? And trusting in the process of that and making that choice. I think the choice right now is to flow and see where this is all going and trusting in your higher power. This is where we get to like flex our faith muscles and also choosing to surrender it. And how we choose to surrender starts with simply saying, I choose to surrender this. I'm handing this to you, God. I'm handing this to you, universe, whatever that is for you. And then when it starts to creep back into your mind, because it will, because we're human and we're worrying about a lot of things right now. I agree with you. You say, oh, there it is again. Oh, no, I'm going to hand this up to God. Like this, it's almost like breaking us down into this so that we choose to do it. Because if you're stubborn like me, sometimes I have to be broken down into a feeling of defeat before I can surrender it. Jessica's saying, who can I surrender the laundry to? I don't know. If I figure that out, I'll let you know, because I would love to surrender that too. But in seriousness, are there things that you can set aside a little bit, right? Like maybe the laundry isn't the priority right now. And so I get it. I'm a mom and no one ever warned me when I had, well, actually my mom did warn me now that I think about it. When I had kids, she said, you're going to have a lot of laundry to do. And I didn't quite understand what that meant, but like, I get it now. Jessica, I know you're with me on that too. But like, so maybe you don't want to get way far behind on that, but maybe it is okay to just take a little bit more time to just take care of yourself and listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, listen to your higher power, have these conversations with God, pray about it. As you see, I have a lot to say, and there I could cover so much more, but it's like there's a lot. And this week we have on the 19th, So what is today? Today is the 18th. So it's tomorrow is the new moon. So we're already in this new moon in Scorpio energy. So that's part of the emotion as well. But it's a new moon in Scorpio, which is about death and rebirth. It's about transformation. So this is a really beautiful time for us to take action on and to set intentions around those things that we want to see transformed in our life. What do you want to see transformed? Maybe it's the laundry, but probably there are other things, right? Oh, Darcy's saying, so thankful to have you in my life. I'm so thankful to have you too. And thank you so much for being here. You guys, like, this is great. We have a lot of people here live. Hi, Lynette. So plant those seeds. Take a little time to set some intentions and visualize what you want this to be. If 2026 is going to be a year of remembrance, meaning remembering that light that's within us, the power, the co-creation that's within us, what do you want to transform in your life? What do you want to transform in your habits? What do you want to transform within yourself to allow you to emerge by the end of this year an even better version of ourselves? I think we already are. I think we've already done a lot of work, but what else? What's left over? This is an energy of tying up loose ends. So let me pull cards because this video is going way longer than it typically does, but there's a lot of big shifts and big changes that are happening here as well. So you might be finding that there might be a lot of stuff that's happening that's just rocking your world. I want to encourage you to trust the process. And if you can, choose healing tools rather than letting yourself lie awake worrying about things. Like, find something that works for you, even if it's in the middle of the night, whether it's a meditation, a hypnosis, just calming music, anything that's going to work. Pull out your toolbox. All right. I've already pre-shuffled the cards. I already have them in order. We're just going to pull from the top. So I will talk about what they are and then dive into the meanings. Strength card in reverse. I know you guys are feeling that. Four of Wands, leading to beautiful things. King of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. We're really doing the work right now. Eight of Wands. And there's a lot that's coming our way. Double eights there. Okay, so, and then we have the Queen of Wands. Beautiful. I mean, this is such powerful energy. And I hope that you guys can feel it too. I that's part of why we feel so overwhelmed and overstimulated. It's not necessarily bad. It's just big. So the first card is the Strength card. Overstimulated, overwhelmed. Maybe not feeling so connected to our strength. Maybe not feeling like we can do this. We can do this. Again, if you're feeling defeated, you're on the right track. But your job is to carry yourself through this. Your job is to keep going and keep pulling yourself through these experiences. And remembering that you don't have to do it on your own. Inviting God into it. The minute that you invite God into your experience, or the universe, whatever you want to call that, is the minute that you will start to receive help. A lot of like our angels and stuff, like I get the message a lot for people that you need to invite your angels in. You need to ask your angels for help, because a lot of times they're just sitting there, like essentially twiddling their thumbs, waiting for you to ask for help, because they can't help you unless you ask, because that's how free will works. So prayers, conversations, reaching out, and knowing that you don't have to do this alone. But also with the Strength card in reverse, like being willing to do things differently. We're preparing for a 1 year. We're preparing for a new year. This year was the year of the snake, where we're shedding our skin. So be willing to do it differently. Be willing to open up to the possibility that things can be easier, that things can be lighter, that the new circumstances don't have to be the repeat of the old circumstances, that you're a different version of yourself now, and you're getting a different experience, and you will have a different experience, but you have to trust it. Four of Wands, something is coming together. This might be conversations. This might be deciding to take relationships to the next level. This might be something coming in that is worth celebrating. Usually with this, it brings an element of stability. So it's coming. It's coming. Right. But also, can we be our own stability? Can you be your own soulmate? Can you be this person? Like right now is the time to really dive deep into the self-love. And you don't have to love yourself to behave as though you love yourself. In fact, I think a lot of times when we choose to behave as though we love ourselves by taking excellent care of ourselves, then our brain starts to believe it. Right? I think a lot of self-work is really about acting as if until you feel it. So can you be that stability for yourself? Can you use the tools that you know work for you? Can you choose to call in your higher power? And can you choose to recognize the things that are worth celebrating? A lot that's happening is worth celebrating. So lean into that. And I think there's a lot of like blessings. There's a lot of harvest that's happening now. We're shifting this week into Sagittarius season. I feel like that's going to feel a little bit more celebratory as we shift out of the Scorpio season. And we have the King of Cups. This is about emotional regulation, nervous system regulation. How are you doing with that? And if you need tools, in my membership, I have a whole program on nervous system regulation. You can do something every single day to figure out the tools for your toolbox. It's $9.99 a month, guys. It's jump in and use it. Even if you cancel after the first month, whatever you want. But like there's so much that is available to you, but pull from your tools. Learn how to regulate your emotions. Because how powerful are we going to feel when it's like, yeah, I can make it through this? Because like we've made it through harder. Let's keep it real. It's skin crawly, it's uncomfortable, but we've made it through harder. And I think on the other side of this, we're going to feel like rock stars, like, wow. And this is also about connecting with that internal strength to be willing to be more vulnerable, to open up more. I think there's a lot going on. And maybe that's like having a conversation from the heart. Maybe that's being willing to let your guard down in a situation that you wouldn't have before. And I think a lot of this defeated feeling is creating that for us, where it's just like, okay, I feel defeated, but it's allowing me to access parts of myself that I wasn't able to access before, or it's allowing me to let my guard down in a way that I was too protective for before. So that's really beautiful. We are Eight of Pentacles, putting in a lot of work right now. It might be work on ourselves. You might also be working a lot, like actually working a lot. And so remember, keep in mind, we want to find that balance, because you're going to burn out much more easily in this energy. You're going to need more rest. Well, through the end of November, at least. So just take really good care of yourself. But what you are choosing to invest in is going to pay off for you. So choose wisely, right? Like you're creating from whatever you're choosing to invest in. So invest wisely. And I think like we're getting clear on what we want to be investing in. And if you're not clear on that yet, we're still in these retrogrades. It might take a little while. We also may choose to seek out some opportunities, or opportunities are coming my way. A lot of times with this Eight of Wands, I see it as like really good things coming our way. Conversations, messages. Again, we have a lot to talk about, right? I get this energy. Like, is there someone, are there people in your world that you feel like we've got a lot to talk about? Because that might tell you where this is going to come from. It might be family, friends, someone you were in a relationship with, or want a relationship with, or even like work, right? Like conversations for clarity and deeper understanding. But I also feel like there's a lot of opportunities that are coming in this energy as well. Like, because we've been willing to do the work, because we've let ourselves experience this certain level of ego death, like it's almost like our guards are down in a way that they haven't been. And it just opens us to other opportunities that we weren't even aware of. Like there's a level of detachment that if we allow it is coming in for us. And I think that actually will serve us really well, because it might be second chances or just new chances or whatever, but I think things are coming in. And we see here, we have the 8 of Wands and then we have the Queen of Wands, like grabbing the bull by the horn, like taking the opportunities as they come in. And I think you'll know, I think you'll have a sense of that. But this is also about like remembering who we are, that you are an extension of God, that you are the light here in this world. And the Queen of Wands, she is the light. She is the sunflower, right? She is the confident one. And I think like part of this energy is inviting us to get more comfortable with being seen, but to be seen in ways that are different from how we've wanted to be seen before. I think our priorities are shifting. I think that looks different. And I think it's more authentic. It's just us being willing to show up as our authentic self. But the Queen of Wands also knows her value. So you might, part of your value assessments that you're doing might be like, what is my value and what do I deserve? And where's the bar? And do I need to raise the bar? Maybe that's part of the question that's happening here with this. Because the Queen of Wands, that bar is really high because she knows the light that exists within her. And she knows that she deserves the best of the best. And that people will either rise to meet that or they won't. She's not worried about it because she is absolutely magnetic and knows that it will come. So trusting in your magnetism as well, trusting that you've put the work in, that you are putting the work in, and that beautiful things are coming your way. Like this is a very magnetic energy. There's a lot of blessings coming in this week. So a lot to look forward to. Thank you guys for sticking around so long. This is a little bit longer than usual, so I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Say hello if you're watching the replay. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube, please do that as well. Oh, and I think it's swipe left. Normally I would tell you to swipe right on me, right? But like swipe left, because on YouTube, I think you can hype my video now. If you swipe left, it doesn't cost you anything and you can hype my video and help me to get more reach. And yeah, I think that's what it does. But like hype my video, please, especially if you made it all the way to the end, and keep doing that with them. Please like this video. Please share this video. These are important messages. We have a lot to talk about. So share this with the people that need to hear these messages. This is big stuff. And I like the way that this is going, in spite of me feeling totally skin crawly and uncomfortable and really feeling like I'm working my way through some heavy shadow work, but we're all going to get there. And I'm sending you all light. I'm sending you all love as you find your way. I will see you guys soon with another video. Take care.